Well, a very good evening to you all. Welcome, everyone. How are we? I don't know why I asked that question. You can't respond.
No, they can't. It's only me that
It's
can
only you. And
respond.
how are you, Dan?
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, as I said to you earlier, I'm actually in I'm not at home
Well,
today.
a very good evening. Oh, I
I
got a little
am
bit of...
actually Oh no, that was me just checking. It's fine.
Oh, no worries.
The
Oh, I
feedback,
thought...
you're all good. No, you're all fine. You're all fine.
See, well, you say you were in the office. Funny thing is, I was
Yeah.
in the office down in Swansea yesterday, and of course that means moving my whole setup. So,
Yeah.
when I started hearing the feedback coming through, I thought, oh dear, someone's got an audio cable plugged into a power socket or something like that. But,
Oh right. No, no, you're all good. I was
nothing.
just making sure we were getting the audio through on the actual stream.
Oh, that's good because you can never be certain.
No, that's why I always worry that because we have been caught out.
Oh, certainly. I remember
So,
a year and a half ago, I did a stream on Open Roberta,
mhm.
the where you're making Robot Twister, and for the first 20 minutes of the stream, all you could hear was this really horrible, high pitched sort of cricket
Oh,
sound.
I remember. I
Yeah,
remember that.
that one was weird. It's because I had my microphone plugged into a USB hub, but that USB hub didn't have enough power.
So it was just like a squeaking, wasn't it? It
Yeah, it
was
was almost
really,
like me talking in high pitched.
yeah, it was very, I remember that. That was back in the days where we used a lot more Discord.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's only been a few months, but it feels like a decade.
it does. It does.
Speaking of older Technolives, or before they were called Technolives, virtual Technoclubs. But
Virtual techno clubs. Yeah.
yeah, speaking of older Technolives, I dug out our old intro, from ages ago.
Oh wow.
And yeah, let me just boot this up because I don't have any nice way of booting up. Our old intro was written in Python, and
Mm.
it looked a little bit like this. If I just run the module, we got the shell first, then we got the graphics package. There we are. Yeah, we had an old intro. And it would just sort of sit on the screen. You see this lovely spiral, getting brighter and brighter as it went bigger. Then it would wipe itself out, and it would go a bit laggy, but that's all right. And yeah, then it would write out Technocamps with a little turtle animation, and yeah, this is our old intro, and it lasted for a good 4 weeks.
Mm.
Yeah, this is all the way back in March 2020. Feels ages ago now.
Gosh, why don't I remember this intro?
I think it was before you even started streaming.
I think it probably was. Well, I didn't. Well, I didn't start until May. So that would probably, it
Ah.
was May 2020 that I did my first Game Fruit live stream. So I think, yeah, I didn't actually see this intro.
Yeah, it's not the
Wow.
best programmed thing. I remember doing this the day before the first stream. But yeah, pretty cool. This was all written in Python, but the cool thing is it's written in Python Turtle.
It's very reminiscent of an old Windows
Oh,
screensaver,
Windows
isn't it?
screensaver, yeah. The Mystify one.
Mm, there it is.
Yeah. Sorry, it's quite mesmerizing, isn't it? And when you close it, it gets all these errors. Lovely.
Oh, wonderful.
But yeah, all it is using Turtle, which is a Python library. So a library is just a collection of code. And it's doing different movements every time, and it all happens in this loop here. So the turtle will move forward a certain amount, and it'll turn right a certain amount, and it'll change colors and do all this interesting, funky stuff, and it'll repeat again and again. And basically, what I'm coming up to is we're going to do something similar to that today.
Yes.
And we're going to do it over on a website called edublocks.org. So if you want to follow along with us, the place to go is https://edublocks.org. And that link's in the chat now. And yeah, this is a really cool website because it's proper Python, But you have the option of doing it in blocks as well. So if you're not so good at typing it out, you can do it in blocks.
I would like to just point out as well, if I do disappear, I am only muted because somebody in the background is chatting, and we don't want it to come through on the stream.
Of course, back in the office, it means you
absolutely
you're subject to the whims of the general public.
Absolutely. So if I don't respond to one of your questions or something, Jack, that will be why.
No, completely fine. I mean, I'm at home with the window wide open because it is quite hot. It's still summer down here.
Well, you see, one of the benefits of being back in the office is the air conditioning.
Yeah, well, my air conditioning is a wide open window for which anyone could be shouting. So if I disappear, you know what's causing that.
Exactly.
Anyway, on the EduBlocks website, we're going to go straight to Python 3. You've got other options here. You can program for Microbit or Raspberry Pi or CircuitPython there, or cool options there. In fact, the whole website's kind of cool. And you've got lessons, tells you how to do different things. You've got printouts, and so on. Oh, and, cool stuff. We're just going to go straight to Python 3. And we're going to launch that mode. And yeah. What's your thoughts on Python, Dan?
My thoughts on Python?
Yeah.
I like Python. It is probably my favorite language that I've used at university, to be honest.
Yeah. It's really popular, especially now.
Oh, you can do basically everything in Python now.
Oh, certainly. And yeah, a lot of different subjects are using that. So it's used a lot in maths, it's used a lot in biology and chemistry and physics and all that.
I mean, you can make really funky graphs with it.
Yeah. Well, if you go to samples up here, it gives you an example of certain ones. So you can do input and output graphs, birthday song, processing, and rainbow spiral. So if I open graphs and then click run, you can see what it does. There we are. It makes a quite nicely animated graph. If you want to, you can open the rainbow spiral, which is a really cool one.
Yeah, I'm just using rainbow spiral.
Yeah, this one's using turtle, and it's kind of example what our old intro was, except this one's a bit more rainbow coloured. And you got processing's interesting. We've used processing before, actually, except we used a JavaScript flavour of it. It's quite a popular one on our stream, but you can do weird interactive stuff.
Right.
So, yeah. But we're going to just go straight to new to give us a blank canvas to work on. Because I've got a plan today.
Okay.
Have you... This is turning into trivia day. Have you heard of Mondrian?
No.
Oh, where's your art history, Dan?
Oh, it's not a strong
Shameful.
point.
We'll have to fire you from the stream.
Yeah, I'm fired.
But yeah, Piet Mondrian, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, was an artist. And I'm just on his Google Arts and Culture, really cool website. It basically lets you explore hundreds of different pieces of art for free.
Oh, okay.
And it's been really, really important for people in lockdown because you can actually virtually tour museums. So you can walk through the Louvre and you can do all that kind of stuff. And yeah, his Piet Mondrian, he was a Dutch artist, and in the 1900s, in the early of 20th century, he did lots of very abstract works. So things like this, where it's kind of weird and I earned a badge. Thank you, thank you, Google. I got a badge.
Well done.
But yeah, he did interesting ones like this. But then, a little bit later on, he started experimenting with these sort of coloured rectangles. So this is Grande Composizione with black, red, grey, yellow and blue. And then it got even more sort of cleaner looking, so a bit like that. And some of them, we had the colours all spread out around the place. And that's a windmill. But this kind of period where he was doing these rectangles was one of his more popular, well-known periods.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to, you can view it in augmented reality, or you can even... Hang on, can you view it in Street View? How does that work?
Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you could actually walk around the museum that it's in.
I was going to say, if it was the windmill one, I wonder if it took you to the... I thought it would take you sort of to the windmill's actual location.
Oh, go on, and let's try.
Oh, there's the museum. Okay. Oh, you've had another badge, Jack. Well done.
No, it's just the windmill in the museum.
Oh, okay.
I won't try the augmented reality because I don't know whether that's going to use my webcam. Also, it might only work on mobile phones, so who knows. But yeah, we're going to try these rectangular ones. We're going to start drawing some cool rectangles in Python. And yeah, the first thing we need to do is we need to actually tell Python that we're going to be using a turtle. Let me just zoom in a tad here. There we are. That's a bit better. So whenever you use something that's not part of main normal Python, so normal Python is quite simple. You got, if you can add numbers, you can get it to ask questions or print things out and all sorts. But if you want to do more fancy stuff, you need to import the right library. So we're going to click on imports here, and we can see we've got import time, import math, import random, import pygal. I think that's the graphs one that lets you do graphs.
Yeah, there's also various others that allow you to do graphs, things like matplotlib and...
Yeah, there's hundreds of Python
like
libraries.
Basically, a library is just extra stuff that Python can do.
It's like just telling Python that, okay, we're going to be needing this cool extra stuff, so could you, get that ready for us?
Yeah.
We might need two. We're just going to get those out ready, because you never know. It's kind of a bad idea to import stuff you don't need. But that only becomes a real problem if you've got a massively long piece of code, and we won't have that.
No, it can just slow things down a bit.
Yeah. But we're going to import math first, so I've just dragged that block out. We're also going to import random. And we might use these two later. I'm just getting them ready. If it turns out we don't use them, I could always delete one of them. But the other thing we need is over in Turtle, where we have a slightly different block called from turtle import star. And basically what that means is import everything turtle-like, everything turtle-related.
I understand why they've put it as a pencil, but I'm kind of disappointed that the icon they've used is not an actual turtle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's disappointing.
I can appreciate why the pencil is there, but at the same time, I kind of wish it was an actual turtle.
But yeah, we've got our 3 imports that we might need. We'll definitely need from turtle import, though. Because without that, we won't have a turtle.
Exactly.
We also need to tell... We need to give our turtle a name. And we do that with this second one down where it says turtle equals turtle. Which sounds kind of weird, but it's turtle with a capital T. So the turtle with the capital T is kind of the formal name, the kind of the proper name. So if your name is Mike and your mum is really angry with you, she might use your full name, Michael.
Yes.
So using the capital T is kind of like the formal stuff. We're going to make a less formal version, just turtle on its own. So I'm going to grab that block and pop it in. And you can rename turtle to be something else, but that just gets tricky and confusing. Over on my on that old Technolive intro, I called my turtle Ben.
Well, I was going to say, you can actually call your turtle anything
You can, yeah.
if you really wanted to, but it just makes sense to keep it going. Going back to this idea of making sure you name things sensibly. Not that
Yeah.
I'm saying there's anything wrong with Ben, of course, Jack.
If you're Ben and you're a turtle, we apologise.
Yes, the names are available.
Other names are available. But yeah, the reason I'm keeping it as just normal, boring turtle with no capital is because in this panel here, it's always calling it turtle. So if we would just leave it as what it was by default, when we drag these out, we don't have to bother renaming each of these when we use them. So that's just an EduBlocks thing. If you're writing your own Python, you can, of course, use whatever name you like.
Exactly.
We're also going to go back to the turtle panel. And scrolling up, we're going to use the screen equals screen block as well.
Okay.
And again, that's just giving an informal name to the screen. And the reason why is so we can edit the screen and we can change its background and make it do weird stuff.
Is this slightly different to how you would ordinarily program a turtle? Because I've not ever seen screen equals screen when I've done some turtle programming in the past.
Well,
but
that's the cool thing. Screen has always been part of the turtle library. So if you do want to change the background color, you'll need to access the screen.
The screen. Oh, okay.
And there's other weird things you can access from the turtle library, like the stage, and it gets confusing. But yeah, let's change the color of the screen, actually. Seeing as we've got this block here to access it. Let's go to the turtle panel again. By the way, almost everything will be in the turtle panel, so you'll have to get used to me saying turtle panel.
Turtle panel.
Because turtle panel is... Anyway, I'm going to get screen.bg color. And that means background color.
Now, I'm trying to remember my RGB codes, and I can't remember what 25500 is. I'm going to... is it red?
It is, yeah. So what we've got in this block here is an RGB value, or a red, green, blue value. And it's a way of describing a color. And basically, the way you describe a color is you put a certain number in the red column, you put a certain number in the green column, and you put a certain number in the blue column. And those numbers go from 0 to 255. So if I've got 255 in the red column, and 0 in the green column, 0 in the blue column, that means I'm going to have a red background. So
basically, by adjusting the colors of each, you can make pretty much, or the value of each, sorry, I should say, you can make any color.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
The sun, can you?
Let me click run, and we'll see whether that works. Yeah, we got a red background.
We do. Nothing else, just a red background.
So yeah, if I change that to 0, and then I put the... choose a number between 0 and 255.
165.
165. I'm going to put that in the green column to see what colour we get. Okay, we kind of get darkish green.
Darkish green.
That's quite pleasant, actually. I could put in other stuff. So if I change that one to... Well, let's make this one 32. Let's make the red column 201. And let's make the blue column 186.
Some of you might have heard of RGBA, which is to do with opacity, isn't it, Jack? Is that right?
Yeah, so RGBA is the same thing, but it's got one extra thing tacked on the end. It's called alpha, and it's how transparent something is.
That's it, yeah.
But yeah, you can make up some interesting stuff, as long as you never go over 255 or under 0. 82.
It won't understand otherwise what you're trying to do.
202 and 210. Let's see what colour we get. Ooh, we get pleasant blue. And if I wanted black, I would make them all 0. So 0, 0, 0. And we get black. And if I wanted white, 255, 255, 255.
Often lots of companies will have their own kind of combination, won't they, for their kind of branding?
Oh, certainly.
Different letters, different numbers that are specific to their brand.
Do you remember, this is going back donkey's years now, do you remember the phone company Orange?
I do.
They had their own orange.
Really?
They had their own shade of orange, and if anyone dared have a logo that was a similar shade of orange, they would sue them into the ground. Saying, you've stolen our orange.
It's quite tragic in some ways, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's a very special... There's a Netflix red, there's a Google, YouTube red, there's Facebook blue, and so on. So we've changed the background. I'm leaving my background as white, just so we can see what we're doing with the turtle on it. Also, the Mondrian, most of it starts on a white canvas.
Oh, well, yeah. So
and then gets built up. So it kind of makes sense. Let's get the turtle in the picture and doing something.
The actual turtle.
The actual turtle. So if I go turtle...
Which does look like a turtle.
Well, it doesn't actually. Not until we use this block here.
No, of course. Yeah, you're right.
We need to use this turtle.shape turtle block. And what this does is it changes the turtle from a boring arrow to a little turtle that
tiny turtle
runs around. So if we grab that
tiny
block
turtle
and click run, it should show up in the middle. Yeah, we've got a turtle now.
An actual turtle.
It's tiny, but it's a turtle.
It's still a turtle.
Yeah.
And we can actually change the colour of said turtle. Oh, we can.
Yeah, we might want to hold off on that because we want to just get things moving first.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we do have the options. If you want to skip ahead and play around, feel free. The first thing we're going to get our turtle to do is to move forward. And let's kind of show off what the turtle does. So I'm going to use the turtle.forward block. And here we've got a number. That number is 90. That'll be how far the turtle goes forward. And now that number is measured in pixels. So if I say turtle go forward 90, you'll go forward 90 pixels. So I'm going to whap that up to 200, see what we get. And yeah, just click run. And yeah, the turtle goes forward 200 pixels. And this is where the cool thing is, because the turtle leaves a line behind. The turtle has a pen he's holding in his tail and draws a line behind.
I'm sure it's very familiar to the Scratch pencil tool, for those of you who have used that before.
Oh, almost certainly. Do you know what it is? This is, again, me going back years. Back when I was in primary school, we had something called Logo. Yeah, Logo.
Ah, yes, Logo. I've heard of this.
Logo was a computer program that was very much like Turtle, except it was using a different language. But the cool thing is, hang on, I need to find it because they was... Oh, my memories are exploding with nostalgia. Oh, don't fail me now, search.
Wasn't it quite a complicated language to program in, though?
Logo, the language?
Or am I confusing it with a different one?
Oh, I can't remember, actually.
Hang on, I'm thinking of a different language. The name of it will come to me. Oh, Basic was very tricky, wasn't it? Despite it being called Basic.
I think what you might be thinking of is Small Basic, because they had a turtle for Small Basic.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, no. Before we actually had a physical version of Turtle back when I was a kid. And it's called the Valiant Roamer.
Okay.
And it looked like that. Look at that. Just a smiley, happy chap.
Hang on. I'm just waiting for the stream.
Yeah, and there were actual turtle versions of the Valiant Roamer as well. That's just freaky. That's scary, actually, that turtle with the glowing red eyes.
Okay, I'm seeing the Roamer, and it is quite something.
It is quite something. But the cool thing about this was, in fact, there's actually similar software for it, was you type in an instruction like forward, and then how much, and you go forward and how much, and you type in left and how much, and it would turn left and how much. But the cool thing is you could put a pen in the hole in the middle, and it would draw a trail behind it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we had old versions like this. Memories.
Memories.
But no, now we got Python, which of course is so much more, it's got so much more than this.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's not more complicated, it's got more options, more flexible. Anyway, so we got the turtle going forward. 200 is quite a bit, so I'm going to turn that down to 100.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, Jack. I've Googled the language that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
It's Fortran.
Wait, what? You learnt Fortran?
Oh, I didn't learn Fortran. Gosh, no.
Oh, thank goodness.
I was thinking of the very old language that was very difficult to program in.
Oh, yeah. Fortran's a nightmare. Yeah, still going, though. Still being used today, despite being made in the 40s or 50s?
I think it said 57, but that might have been wrong. I can find out. Fortran was from 1957.
Good grief. The logo I was talking about, that language I think was from the 70s as well.
Let's have a look. Logo programming language.
Yeah, you can find all sorts of... There's a timeline of languages that's really cool.
Logo was 1967.
Oh. And the fact that I learned that as a kid, that's scary. Also, there's a dog barking outside.
Oh, okay. You've got all sorts going past today.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lovely day for it, but still. Oh, well. Anyway, let's get on with Turtle. We're getting distracted.
We are getting very distracted. Yeah.
Let's take our turtle for a walk instead of a dog. So we've got the turtle going forward. Now, I want to make... that's bookmarks. I want to make rectangles like Mondrian does. So, I'll need to turn a corner to do the side of the rectangle. So I'll need to turn the turtle. If I go to the turtle panel and pick up another turtle.forward block, I can change the forward with the drop-down arrow to left or to right. So I can turn the turtle to the right. And if I get another turtle.forward and put in another... let's do 50 this time.
I'd like to point out as well that this isn't just as high-level English as... because it's blocks. This is how you would actually type it out if you were using a typed version of, Python as opposed to a block version of Python. It is
exactly.
turtle.forward brackets 100. It is as simple as that.
That's the really cool thing about EduBlocks. It is proper Python. It's just the difference is you're dragging it out from a list rather than typing it. And if we click the Blocks tab up at the top right, it just translates immediately. And as you can see, it's exactly the same.
It is just there are no blocks now.
Yeah. It's not like, MakeCode Arcade or MakeCode in Minecraft, or I can't think of any others that switch language. When you click the switch language, it takes a little while to translate it all. No, this is literally just Python, but block-shaped.
Yep.
Let's see what we've got so far. We've got turtle going forward, turtle turning right 90 degrees, so a right angle. And then turtle going forward 50. Let's see what that looks like. And there we are. We get a right angle turn. Also, I'm not sure why the graph keeps popping up.
It seems to like to go back to the first thing that I've noticed mine's doing the same.
Yeah.
It just seems to like to go back to the first thing that I did.
Oh, well, it's a nice reminder that graphs exist.
Mine Oh, do you know what's quite interesting, Jack? Mine is still trying to run the rainbow spiral, which is the first thing that I produced.
Oh.
Just in the background.
Interesting.
It's very bizarre.
Very bizarre. But it's kind of working. So yeah, let's finish off our square. So let's get the turtle to turn right another 90 degrees. Then go forward. Let's say 100 again because we want to match the other side. Then we'll get the turtle to turn right again. Then we'll get the turtle to go forward. And to match the other side, we'll make that 50. Now, it's a really good idea, after you've drawn something with a turtle, to get the turtle to face back the original direction. It's like parking a car. If you park the car, you get into your car, you go off to the shops, you grab some, I don't know, new tea bags, you come back, and you put your car sideways, so you can't get out anymore. That's not going to be useful for when you need the car again, is it?
No.
Or if you, I don't know, park it upside down. It's just going to make next time using it even more difficult.
I mean, if you park it upside down, I would be concerned.
I'd also be very impressed.
So would I, actually. That would be quite an interesting maneuver.
Yeah. But, as I said, it does make sense to put your turtle in the right... where it began. So we had the turtle facing right, first of all. And then we turned right, and we turned right 3 times. So it's good to just get it to turn right one more time to get it facing the original direction. There we are. And let's give that a run. And there we are. We got a little rectangle. And
excellent.
What we have there is a very minimalist and small Mondrian. I swear, actually, there's probably an artist out there somewhere who's just drawn a rectangle on a blank canvas and called it art, and then sold it for 3 billion.
Oh, absolutely. I do often want, I used to think this in art lessons in school where it was completely useless. And I used to see some of the works of some very, sort of famous artists. And I did used to think I could do that.
Yeah, there's some famous ones that they seem like they're really low effort, but someone's obviously put some thought into them.
A lot of thought into it, absolutely.
For example, I think there's a very famous one where it's literally just someone's bed that they've taken out of the house and they've put it in a museum. Well, that's a big thing at the moment, actually, because, of course, NFTs are really big. There's these non-fungible tokens.
Right.
And what people do is they make a unique piece of art. So I've made a rectangle. I'm going to sell you, Dan, the rights... Well, I'm not even going to sell you that. I'm going to sell you a certificate that says that you own this now.
Right.
Would you like that?
Just a singular certificate.
It's only £3 million.
Oh, only 3 million.
Yeah, so I'm going to wait for that to transfer into my bank account. Then I'm going to give you a piece of paper that says you own my drawing of this rectangle.
I can certainly write you a cheque for £3 million, but I'm not quite sure if it would clear.
Yeah. But the thing is, that piece of paper, then I'm going to stick in a blockchain and do some maths to it just to prove that it's a proper piece of paper and not a fake piece of paper.
Yes.
So yeah, you're now the proud owner of a rectangle.
Just a single rectangle.
Just a single rectangle. That's all right. Let's make it colourful though, because it's a boring rectangle. So I'm going to come out with rectangle version 2, a coloured one.
Excellent.
Colouring stuff in with the turtle is a little bit interesting. I'm just thinking the best way to do it, actually.
Well, we've got
Edgeblocks
colour
seems
and
to want to
pen.
do it the other way.
There's quite a lot of things.
Okay, we're going to try it one way. If that doesn't work, we'll go for the backup version. I
The
was
pen
expecting a couple of other functions that Edgeblocks doesn't seem to be giving us.
Okay.
Interesting. Oh, let's try something and see if it works. Because that's the beauty of programming. You just give things a go, see what they do.
It is often the best solution.
Yeah, think about
we learned this last week with Human Resource Machine. Questionably.
I don't think we learnt much there at all. Except that we're both bad at maths.
Yeah, we can ignore that part.
Yeah. I'm gonna try popping this turtle.color at the start of at the start of me doing the rectangle. See if that does anything. I'm not sure if it will. Who knows? Let's see. No. That wasn't it. Is Edgeblocks messing me around? I think it might be.
Did yours keep it as being... Oh, it's just made it very red.
Yeah. I was looking for turtle.begin_fill. I'll tell you what. We're in Edgeblocks. We're in Python. We can go to Python mode and see if we can force it to do what we want. If not, we'll have to rethink things, but that's life. So I'm going to go into Python mode rather than blocks mode. And on lines 8 to 15, we have our shape instructions. Now, the way you do this in normal Python is, at the start of a shape, you tell the turtle what color it should be and what, when to start making a shape. So, I'm going to press enter a couple of times after turtle.shape to give me some space.
Yep.
And here I'm going to do turtle.color, but I'm going to spell it the American way.
Yes.
C-O-L-O-R. Yeah. No U's in America. Apparently, and the rumor is, the reason they did that was because of newspapers. If you wanted to post an advert in a newspaper, you had to pay by the letter.
So they just saved money.
Yeah, so what they do is they drop what they saw as unnecessary letters to save money, yeah.
But this is crazy, because by that logic, Jack, I mean, they could just say, oh, sorry, Jack, your name is no longer spelt with a K at the end.
Oh, that would be quite distressing, yeah.
Wouldn't it? You know, and things like that.
But when it comes to 2 cents a letter, and you need to type out 1,000 letters, that can be quite pricey.
It can be.
Yeah. Anyway, I've typed out turtle.color, open bracket, 255,0,0. So I'm going to tell it to be red. And it's exactly like that block we dragged out, the turtle.color block, except I've written it this time rather than dragged it out. I'm also going to try something that works in works in downloaded Python, not in Edgeblocks Python.
In idle.
Yeah, and hope that this will work. If not, we'll have to switch to idle, which will be embarrassing. So I'm going to type out turtle.begin_fill. Open bracket, close bracket. And the way this works in normal Python is you're telling the turtle that, okay, whatever you draw now will be filled in, and we'll stop filling things in when I tell you to stop filling them in.
Right.
So at the end of the shape, so on line 19, I'm going to have to tell it to stop filling things in. So I'm going to use turtle.end_fill. Open bracket, close bracket, stop. Let's see if that works. Let's see if Edgeblocks will play nicely, or whether that's a function that it just doesn't have. I'd have thought it would have it, because Edgeblocks just runs off normal Python. we'll
And
see.
it'll all be the same library, surely.
Yeah. Let's click run. Hey, it does work.
Well, there you go.
So
just
yeah,
wasn't a block.
it is installed in EduBlocks. It's just it's not available in the turtle menu.
Out of curiosity, if you go back to the blocks now, what does it say?
Oh, let's have a look. Let's go back to blocks. It deletes everything.
Interesting. Okay.
Hang on. Yeah, no, there's just not blocks for those. Oh,
Well,
that's annoying.
interesting.
Oh, well, it looks like we'll have to go all in Python today
All
then.
in normal Python. Yeah.
All in normal Python. Oh, that's a bit... That's not great.
But as we discussed, it's essentially the same thing, just without the dragging and the dropping.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm just quickly rearranging things in my brain. I don't have a cup of tea here to help make that move better, but oh well. Yeah, so we need to make a load of rectangles. We've just drawn one. As we will be doing lots of rectangles, it's probably a good idea that we make that process fast and easy and
Absolutely.
Not tricky to do at all.
I'm hearing the idea of a loop.
Oh, I wasn't going to go loop.
Oh, we're not going loop.
Not going loop. I mean, we probably should do a loop. But I was thinking even easier. I was thinking of making a function.
Ooh.
So, a function is a piece of code that you could call on at any time. And it's just like a sort of pre-written piece of code.
Mm-hmm.
So if I make a function called draw rectangle, every time I shout at Python, draw me a rectangle, it'll do it. And I won't have to write, make loads of... I won't have to write out these lines over and over and over and over again. I only have to write them once.
It's a very much Blue Peter, here's what I made earlier kind of
Yeah.
approach,
So I'm going to do this... This is me trying to remember... Oh, yeah, Python top-down, yeah. So I'm going to do this a couple of lines underneath what we've written so far, so I can copy it off easily, and I'm not forgetting something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to type out the word death.
Oh.
Yeah, not...
It sounded like you said death.
I said death, not death.
And then I was like, no, I've misunderstood. It's dev.
Well...
Or deaf.
Yeah, it's...
Def.
DEF.
DEF, yeah. Which I believe stands for define.
It does, actually. What we are saying when we're using the def keyword is we're saying, okay, we're going to be writing a chunk of code now that you can keep referring back to.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call this chunk of code draw rectangle. And after that, I'm going to open a bracket, close a bracket, and put in a colon. It is a colon, isn't it?
It is.
It's been so long since I've done Python. See, I'm a JavaScript person by trade. But, yeah, it's sometimes when you're going from one language to another, you have to remember... Is it that? I can't remember. But yeah, I'm going to write def, draw rectangle, open bracket, close bracket, colon. And what we're doing is we're just saying, okay, whatever follows this colon is going to be a function. It's going to be something that you can keep on calling back to. And as soon as I press enter, you'll notice that there's something new happening now. We're on a new line, but we're also jutting out from the left a bit. And that's because everything that belongs to this function should be jutting out the left by a little bit.
It's like in Scratch, where if you want something to be a part of, let's say, a forever loop, you put it inside of the forever loop.
Exactly, yeah.
Not underneath it or above it or next to it, inside of it. And it's the same principle here, really.
This gap here, by the way, you can get up any time by pressing tab on your keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
But, thankfully, EduBlocks writes it in automatically for us, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's do exactly what we did. We're going to do turtle dot begin underscore fill, and then we're going to start drawing out a rectangle. So turtle dot forward, and we're gonna for now type in 100, but we might update that later to use a random number. That will be cool. And we're going to get turtle to turn right 90 degrees, and turtle dot forward 50. Now this would be much better if I were using a loop, but to be honest, I can't be bothered.
Fair enough.
It's only what, 8 lines of code. It's not too.
Yeah,
much.
it's not too bad.
If we used a loop, it would save us about 3 lines.
It wouldn't. I mean, the only time it would only really be good is if we're playing Human Resource Machine at this point and it's shouting at us for not having.
Getting the
code.
size or the speed score, which I can never get on those. The only thing here to do is make sure you're counting the right number of forward instructions.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to end up making a rectangle with 5 sides. Which, if you did, that would kind of break maths.
It would. Yeah, it would.
Okay, so I'm writing the same thing out again, which means I can delete what I had already. I should have just copied and pasted it, but oh well. I've not had enough tea in the day to do that. And of course, I'm going to end it with an end fill. I'm also going to add in 2 other lines. I'm going to add in a line that will tell the turtle to stop, drawing a line behind it. And I'm also going to add a line that will tell it to start drawing a line behind it. And the reason is we don't want our rectangles overlapping each other. We don't want them, one rectangle blending into the other rectangle. We don't want lines going all over the place. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the pen that the turtle holds in its tail before we draw a rectangle. We'll need to draw the rectangle, so we'll need to put it down to do the actual rectangle-y bit, and then after that we'll pick it up again.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the first line of draw rectangle, I'm going to add in turtle dot pen up. Open bracket, close bracket. I believe that's the function. Doesn't have an underscore, I don't think. Yeah, I think it's just turtle.pen up. And at the end of the rectangle... No, I'm doing it the wrong way around, aren't I?
Yes. Yeah, that's not going to draw anything.
I'm lifting the pen up before we draw the rectangle, which means we won't have a rectangle. That's wrong. Turtle.pen down is the one it should be. So first line of draw rectangle should be turtle.pen down, and then the last line should be turtle.pen up. There we are. Okay. So I think we've got everything we need there.
I think so.
We just don't... We're not actually telling the turtle to draw anything at the moment. We've made this function called draw rectangle, but we never tell Python that we're going to use this function at all.
No.
So what I'm going to do, give myself a couple of enters, just so I've got some space and it's not hanging off the bottom of the screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press backspace so I go back so my cursor is up against the left.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is I want to be outside the draw rectangle function now. I don't want to do anything inside it anymore. I want to be outside it. So I want to go make sure my cursor is back flashing against the left.
I'd like to make an interesting observation as well, Jack, if I may.
Of course.
And apologies if I'm wrong. But if you're using Python, you can make a function, but you can actually call it on lines that come before it. Is that right? And Python would still know what you're doing.
Ooh. I thought it was the other way around. I thought you couldn't.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's why I was doing it underneath.
Ah.
Well, tell you what, let's test that.
I
If
might be
ever you
wrong.
never know anything in programming, it's always worth to check.
I could be wrong, but I'm sure Python knows that you will still get it, but perhaps it is maybe I am wrong.
Oh, let's see. Well, I've just typed out draw rectangle, and I've done it at the bottom, and I've done it flush against the left. And what that's doing now is it's actually saying, okay, hey Python, I want to use the draw rectangle function. Could you go and run any piece of code that's inside that, please? Let's see if it works. It does. It draws a rectangle.
Wonderful.
If I type in draw rectangle underneath it... Yeah, come on. Come on, brain. So I got draw rectangle again. So it draws a rectangle. Then it draws another rectangle on top of it.
Great.
So what happens if I change colour in between these two lines? I could do turtle dot color 255. Oh no, we've done 255. Let's do a lovely blue. So I'm changing colour between the two times that I'm drawing the rectangle. So it draws a red rectangle, now draws a blue rectangle on top. Pretty cool. Let's test to see if we can use draw rectangle before we've
It might
written draw
shout
rectangle.
at you and say, I don't know what draw rectangle is.
Let's try. Let's try. I'm just putting it above, see if it'll complain. Yeah, it does complain.
It does complain. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we can't use the draw rectangle function before we write the draw rectangle
Actually,
function.
right. I mean, it makes sense. In a way, because otherwise, yeah. There you go. Draw rectangle not defined.
Yeah. So I'm just clearing things up a bit. I've copied and pasted this turtle.color line to put it in front of the first rectangle. So now we've got a couple more options here. And yeah, we can change the color between every time we draw the rectangle, and we can carry on doing that. So we could do a green one as well. But I think rather than draw on top of a rectangle we've already done, let's move the turtle somewhere else. So let's actually put in a command to get the turtle to go off somewhere else on the screen to draw a rectangle in a different location. So after we draw the first rectangle, and put a new line in, turtle.goTo. And this, after the open bracket, we need to put in two numbers. We need to put in an X position, so how left or right of the screen should the turtle go. And we need to put in a Y position, how up or down.
Are you going to use? Could this be something to do with that random function that you brought library? Sorry, that you brought in earlier, Jack.
Well, we'll try with real numbers first, and then we might switch them out for random numbers. See what we get. So let's try moving to 100, 100. See where the turtle goes before it does the next rectangle. Okay, so we draw the first rectangle. Then the turtle goes over there to draw the next rectangle. Hey, we're getting somewhere.
We're getting somewhere. Just a heads up as well, Jack. Just coming up to 5 minutes as well.
Ooh, marvellous. Yeah. Well, we're nearly there. We might be able to put in some random stuff. Let's try it. Let's do a green rectangle. But this time we're going to send the turtle off to a random place that we won't know. So turtle.goTo. And we need to choose a random position side to side. And I'm just trying to remember the function for random.
Random.rand, isn't it?
I think so. Random.rand? I thought it was randint.
Oh, random.randint. You're right. Yeah.
We'll see. So I'm going to try random.randint. And I think you choose what values it can go between. So we could say 0 is the minimum, and
That's it.
200 is the maximum.
I've had a summer of no programming mostly, other than for Technolive, so I am also slightly rusty.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with programming. It's like speaking a language. Sometimes you have to, do a little bit just to get you back in the mood.
You do.
I certainly find that switching from JavaScript to Python. I think that's how we do it.
That looks about right to me.
It looks right. We'll see. We'll click run, and if it shouts at us, we'll know.
So basically, what we're saying there is we're saying from the random library, take the randint function.
Yes, exactly. So when we import random, well, that's what we're using here. That's this random here.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed I've sent the turtle off somewhere, but we haven't done anything with it. So we need to actually change the color. So turtle.color 0, 255, 0. And we also need to draw rectangle. Let's not have green, actually, though. Mondrian didn't really use green. He often went for black or greys or yellows. Or royal blues. That's a very nice blue, by the way. And just trying to think of what colour would be yellow. So it'd be a little bit of red. So maybe 100 red. Red and green, what does that make? That makes... No, it'd be, what, 50-ish red. About 100 blue, and maybe 200 yellow? Sorry, 200 green?
If you want raw, just before I say raw yellow, if you want just straight up yellow, you can use 255, 2550, according to the Googles.
Ooh, okay, let's give that a go. Sorry, color mixing is very tricky, especially when programming, because mixing color is different if you're doing it with paint and if you're doing it with light. And of course, we're using screens. Screens emit light, so I believe it's done with, you have to think about mixing light instead. Let's see if we get a yellowish color. Well, we did, but it's off the screen. I think I know what the problem is. We're saying go from 0 to 200. So unlike MakeCode Arcade, Python Turtle has the 0 point in the middle. So the middle of the screen is 0, 0. So if you want to go to the left of that, you'll need to start at, let's say, minus 200. And this one will have to be minus 200. And... there we are.
Wonderful.
We're getting somewhere. And as we are coming up to 1 minute 2, yeah, we've got something good on the go there. We could easily, fix this up a bit and make it a bit more interesting. We can make the rectangles be randomly sized. Also, we could do something like turtle.width to make the lines a lot thicker, and then we could draw in the black lines between all the rectangles. That's one way of doing it. Rather than sending the turtle off to a random location, we could send it off to a more sensible location. That's a multiple of 10. And that way we'll make sure the rectangles always line up nicely. And yeah, we can do some cool stuff. But in any case, if that's interested you, if you think, okay, I've been opened up to the idea that you can do some cool stuff in Turtle, well, luckily we got the thing just for you, because the clubs are back, aren't they?
They are. They're coming soon.
They are coming soon indeed. In fact, the clubs will be starting back in October.
About 3 weeks now. Is it 3?
Just about.
Oh, just about.
In fact, I got a little graphic for them. Unfortunately, this is the graphic just for the Monday ones.
Well, that's okay.
Sorry, Dad. I should have done one for your club as well, but
Oh, it's fine.
unfortunately, my Photoshop decided that I didn't have an account anymore, so
Useful feature.
I only got this one done. Yeah. So, Monday Technoclub, starting 4th of October, we will be doing lots of Python Turtle. And we will be using edgy blocks, and we'll be doing cool spirals. We'll also be doing some really interesting things with... Well, there's a very special number you can put in that gets you a spiral that's kind of weird. I'm not sure how to describe it. If you're interested, you'll have to see. If you are ages 8 to 16 in Wales, you can join our virtual Technoclubs. And the place to look is technocamps.com. And yeah, I have one on Monday. Every Monday, starting 4th of October at 4:30. And you have one as well, Dan.
I do have one as well. Every Wednesday, starting at 4:30. And we're going to be doing a bit of, well, dusting out the cobwebs and starting to think about how to think like a computer again and do some computational thinking.
Ooh, marvellous.
So...
yeah, so a little bit of dusting off the cobwebs from a lovely summer of no programming and preparing us for, well, what's coming next, which we're still holding secret, so...
Oh, yeah, that big secrets.
Yeah, so if you're interested in those, you can go to technocamps.com, where you get this website here. The place to go is the What's On tab. And you can see what's on. So 4th of October, Monday Technoclub, 6th of October, Wednesday Technoclub. And if you scroll down further, you can see all the details there. And you got the sign-up links there. Not sure how many spaces are left on the sign-up links, but if you want to give those a go, we'll be in touch.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Oh, of course, there's Friday ones as well. We always forget the Friday ones.
There is a Friday one as well. Yep.
Yeah, the Friday ones, they do some interesting topics. It's a bit more of a mishmash where they don't have anything specific. They just, go with what they fancy.
Absolutely.
But yeah, those 3 are available there. And of course, there is a link to us as well. Remember, you can like and subscribe and all that, because apparently you can't get really far on YouTube unless you say that awful like and subscribe thing.
Oh, shall I also say ring that notification bell?
Oh, no, you had to go there, Dan.
I did. Oh, I went there.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no. Has something happened to the stream, Jack?
Well, not on my side.
I'm refreshing. It has come back. It is fine. It's because I said ring that notification bell and the whole internet just
YouTube just collapsed for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it from us today. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Go back and look at our stream archive on YouTube, because we've done other stuff with Python Turtle. I did a really cool one where we made impossible shapes.
And next week is going to be something different again.
Something different again. Ooh.
But we'll keep that a secret as well, I think.
The best way to find that is to subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, to play us out, let's go back to our old intro from over a year and a half ago. Let me just run this. Okay. Oh, no, that's the shell. Didn't want the shell. Just maximize that and hope it doesn't break. Okay, everyone. Good night.
Take care.
Bye.